That was the thumbnail.
I was not smiling.
I was thinking
all right.
weird face.
So we are live right now. Have you been following a lot of the channel right now lately with the CreateSpace merging with KDP? Today, I am very fortunate. We're over at BookNet Fest 2018. Things that's just finished up, and I thought we'd get together for a self-publishing discussion. So I'm going to go around the room right now. Thankfully, I don't need to shout. I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about yourselves, and then we're going to discuss a little bit about CreateSpace merging with KDP, what are the implications, and we're going to speculate on the direction of the business and where it's going to be going. And I'm also going to fill you in on who gave me a call. Clue. It starts with an A and ends with an Amazon. That was, yeah, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. So if you happen to be popping in here, let us know that you can hear us loud and clear, that you can see us really good, because we're going from internet. And Creator Fundamentals, Dan Currier in the house. What's shake, buddy? So it's good to see you, man. Code Buddy, yes, yes. It starts with the A, ends with Amazon. Yes, yes, Code Buddy, yeah, for sure. Northern Ovation Media, hi from Michigan. What's up, Michigan? Yeah. So let's go around the room, and as everybody starts to file in, let me know where you're from, and give me a hashtag new if you're new here, because we're going to make this a full self-publishing discussion. So this means that we're going to have the gang here. We're going to talk a little bit about this recent merge, what we can expect, and what things are we going to kind of just, you know, like I said, figure out what's going on. So let's start it on over here with this guy.
Thanks, Al. Hey, everybody. This is Rob of Archangel Ink, and I am the owner of Archangel Ink, a self-publishing service provider. So we help authors who want to publish professionally kind of give that those finishing touches to their work, and they keep the rights and discretion to their material. So anybody's interested in that kind of thing, feel free to reach out to us. I have a YouTube channel as well, and I'm always happy to answer questions and guide people along the way if you are looking for some outside help in your self-publishing.
Nice. Thanks, Rob. Let's move on over here to this gal. It's Kim
here.
Yes, it's Kim here.
Kim here. She's here. My name is Kim. I'm a writer and entertainer from Salt Lake City, Utah. I have 2 books self-published, and I write lots of other things, YouTube scripts mostly lately. And I also have a podcast called Reading a Book with her.
Awesome. Very good. So we were actually in the Facebook group over at facebook.com/group/self-publishing books. And so if you haven't joined that group, come on over there and join us. Last night, we actually did a little bit of a self-publishing panel on over there, but today we're going to be a little bit more dialed in. And so I want to introduce somebody brand new to the channel. Actually, we get 2 people that are brand new to this YouTube channel, but we actually have a new feature. It is our guest. Yeah, we got a guest. So she's making her second appearance. She was actually on the Facebook one as well. But go ahead and introduce yourself, our guest.
I am guest Jessica.
She has that on name tag.
Yes, I should put guest Jessica. I am also writing a book, and I am on the podcast with Kim. Reading a book.
Awesome. Very good. So, and hopefully we'll get you to weigh in at some point. But folks, she's pretty new to the whole publishing altogether. So she's probably going to smile and nod her head. And right here, one of my favorite people, you guys have probably seen her quite a bit inside the chats, whether you're on twitch.tv/selfpublishlive or you're here on YouTube. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, Monique Mojosiedlak. I go by Mojosiedlak across the board. I have written 35 books so far. Only 2 of them are fiction, but I've taken those down, but because I want to tweak them a little bit. And yeah, this is like my very first conference to go to, so I'm just soaking in all the knowledge.
Well, that's both of you. This is your first con for both of you. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're going to make this a light discussion. So once again, I'd love to see some reciprocation. So, you know, this is going to be a discussion. I want you guys to start to chat and such. So where are you from? What do you do? Be careful about dropping links because I don't have any moderators hanging out here today. Kia Jackson, it's good to see you popping in here. Hashtag new. I'm glad you joined me. Let's see here. Great Beard Tube. Oh, wow. I recognize the name Mojo. Awesome. Yes. You hear me say Mojo quite a bit whenever we're doing some of the live streams. So you actually get to put a face with the name. So I'm pretty honored to actually have her here. Dan Currier, of course, from Creative Fundamentals. Dude, we need to work on this girl right here. Get her to Bid Summit. I'm just saying. YouTube best practices. Let's see here. And Steve Martin, good to see you. Loud and clear. Awesome. I'm glad we're coming through loud and clear. So it's really awesome to get everybody together. Unfortunately, Kelly's not joining us right now. Sadly, she started getting ill yesterday. So she's locked up inside the bedroom right now, just trying to get better. So send Kelly a well wishes just in time for my birthday. Like, yeah, it's my birthday, Mom. My wife's sick. What the heck? Let's just get her drugged up and we'll go out to an amusement park. Yeah. She'll probably enjoy that, right?
She'll feel great.
Young in the house. It's
Welcome back, Young.
Yes, Young's in the house. So, all right, so let's just jump right into things, and I'm going to try to feel better, Kelly. She probably can hear me in the other room. I'm loud as per usual. Get well, dearest Kelly. So everybody's sending, yes, please, drop her some well wishes. So let's get right into things. We're not going to go too long tonight because I want to make sure that we're asking some good pertinent questions. So should I lay the groundwork here?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the deal. You've probably seen my last few videos that I've released, and it's about CreateSpace merging with KDP. We had speculated for the longest time that CreateSpace was just going to go bye-bye, that it was going to disappear. Well, now it's coming to pretty much general knowledge that CreateSpace is being absorbed by KDP Print. So this means that the CreateSpace team that we've come to know and love is now becoming part of the Amazon ethos officially. It's being, incorporated in there. I've been very vocal about some of the bugginess and issues and such, and as some of you have probably, and then there are some people that have had zero issues whatsoever in transferring on over, merging their CreateSpace account over to KDP Print. Well, I sent a contact us, and I've done a few videos, and I've even tagged them through social media. Well, Rob and I were recording some videos you guys are going to see here on YouTube as well as over in LinkedIn, and we had the phone faced away. Normally, I have my beautiful wife to kind of help manage things, and she was sick. She was over in the other room, and me being a dum-dum, and Dan, if you're still tuning in here, you can appreciate this. I forgot to put on airplane mode. You see where this is going? So
I can hear Dan face.
Yes. About 20 minutes into a 30-minute chat, I think it was, it cut off and we didn't know it. So we're talking to a dead camera. And yeah, well, who called? Well, it wasn't a family member because my family doesn't ever call, and they usually text me ahead of time. And who was it? Rob leaves. I go ahead and check it, and it's a call from a gentleman from Amazon. And I'm kind of going, yeah, right. And he pretty much said, I want to discuss with you the whole situation with CreateSpace merging with KDP Print. I know that you've seen some bugginess and issues, so I want to see if I can cover any kind of questions or concerns. Let's see if we can arrange an appointment sometime soon. Didn't really leave a phone number for me. And so I called it back instantly, and it was Amazon. Okay. Still kind of, that scam alert's kind of coming up on me here. I look in my email, and there was official confirmation that this gentleman who he said he was. He really was. And I was just speechless that Amazon went out of their way to call me. So this is further proof that the squeaky wheel does get oiled. So those of you that are having issues with bugginess and problems, you need to get into that contact us inside your dashboard and report those issues so that way they can make it better. So I've got an appointment pretty much tentatively booked this coming week on a Tuesday that hopefully I can talk to this gentleman. I don't want to name drop by any stretch because I don't know if he wants to remain anonymous or whatnot. So this begs the question where we're at. Where do we see the business going, and how do we feel about this? What do you guys think about this? Is it pretty surprising to you that Amazon called me, little old me?
Well, Dale, you're being a little bit modest, I think.
Yeah.
Really, I think it's a testament to the degree to which you're an ambassador for self-publishing. You have a pretty significant reach. I know that you were one of the very first people to get on YouTube and get on social media and talk about the recent announcement that they would be migrating all of the CreateSpace projects to the Kindle Direct Publishing platform in print. And a lot of people see you, rightfully, as an authority, somebody who keeps on top of this information and wants to convey it, is asking pertinent, important questions from the author's perspective about, how this is going to work. When people have issues and concerns, oftentimes I think, folks like you are point people for them. And hey, that's interesting. You gather all these data points and then you can put it out there and consolidate it and, kind of share information. Obviously you do a lot on your social media to help with troubleshooting, but when there are things that we don't have any answer for, we don't have any response to, then you are out there communicating that too. So I think it's a really good opportunity. I think it is a testament to the fact that you do have a lot of influence in this space. And, I think it's a great opportunity. And I can't really think of anybody better to do it, because you do take very seriously the giving back aspect to what you do and trying to be an ambassador and a spokesperson for the interests of the publishing community at large, the indie community at large. So not just little old Dale.
I know,
very worthy and appropriate person to reach out to. So I will definitely be looking out, once you do make that connection, to see what sort of information that they have, and see if you are able to kind of voice some concerns, maybe things that they don't know about already, or that they tangentially know about, and help crystallize for them, okay, this is the plan of action. This is what we need to address to continue to serve the content creators out there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you articulating that. And it's not that I want to try to be humble and say that I'm not a person of influence or whatnot, but to me, that I've really built this, etched out a legacy so far here on YouTube over the past couple of years. And I've put a lot of faith in words behind CreateSpace. So to see this kind of disappear, it's disheartening for me. To be frank, I'm not too often that I bear a lot of my internal emotional thoughts, because I got to say that sometimes when you guys are emotional and you share it through the chat, I'm typically refraining and restraining myself, because, I, like you, have been worried. I really have been worried. And so my concern is not just for myself, but for the people that I have guided to this point. So I don't know if there's any real fears yet. We see this merge, but now that there's that option to move over, I think the fear is even further cemented when you press this button. And for instance, I press the button to merge, 0 books show up on my CreateSpace account is what it says. And then it sits and it processes and processes and processes. And I just was like, oh my God, please don't delete. Because I mean, those of you that have watched this channel long enough know that I have well over 3,000 publications in my CreateSpace account alone. And I know my wife's got scores of others. And I have also people that have invested a lot of time, energy, attention, and money into this, that if something happened drastic, that they go to merge, it accidentally purges all this stuff. This is where we're really scared. So I want to kind of do the due diligence ahead of time and hopefully be a mouthpiece for this larger community, to where we can all kind of get together.
I was just going to say that, because I feel like Amazon does a lot of smart things. And if Amazon's being smart about this, they're reaching out to the people who are going to pass the word along. And like, that's your game. And so I feel like Amazon, maybe that's the reason you got the call, is because it's like, okay, well, all these people are reaching out to us. There's clearly some problems going on. Who are the best people to be in contact with that's going to help streamline all of this? And you're the guy that if they give the info to fix certain things, it's like you're going to pass that along so that they don't have to do as much work. I feel like so. I think that it was smart of Amazon to pick you as one of the people.
Yeah. And it'd be great. I won't lie to you. My ego will feel really good if they did reach out to me for a sense of ego. Yeah, it's going to be great. I think, the one thing that I want to see just happen right now is a lot of this bugginess and stuff to go away, because everybody loved CreateSpace for good reason. And am I correct in saying it was fairly intuitive uploading structure? It didn't take long.
There's reasons people didn't immediately jump onto KDP print when it launched. They were like, I'm going to stick with CreateSpace.
Right.
For those reasons.
You're familiar. And it was funny. I said it in my last pre-taped video, where I said it gives you, because see, I'm fairly stuck in my ways. I won't lie to you. I'm fairly static. I'm very rigid. I like a routine, and CreateSpace has been very routine for me for the past 4 years now. It was actually where I broke ground in this business. So there's a certain portion of me that's kind of dying inside, that CreateSpace is going to be gone, because I got fuzzy, warm memories
You're
of it.
losing
It's
a
the
home.
end of an era.
Yeah.
it
You're losing
really
a
is.
home. You really are, because like, I mean, that's the home for where you're doing your print stuff. Like, for it to be leaving, it's like, dang.
Yeah.
And I'll say for us, I've been, even until just recently, earlier this year, we had another set of scare, I don't know, but a series of questions from clients and folks who we've worked with who say, hey, what's going on? Is CreateSpace disappearing? Should I move over? Should I get over to KDP Print? Should I move over to Ingram Spark? Should I do something else? What are my options? And my recommendation at the time was, hey, just stay put. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. We don't know.
I think everybody was.
Yeah, you know what?
Does the feeling.
You know, and I would say they have, in fairness, started to correct some of the shortcomings that they had initially. I know for many authors out there, they use the free ISBN that's provided by CreateSpace or by KDP Print. But other authors, especially folks that we work with, they have their own imprint. You know, they have exactly, and you know, I don't want to transfer over an Archangel Ink project where somebody can type in Archangel Ink and find everything that has our name attached to an ISBN. Suddenly is now just Kindle KDP Print Beta or you know, KDP Print.
Yeah.
We're going to lose that avenue of marketing and that ability for people to recognize our brand and whatever prestige or familiarity that they have with it. And so, you know, they've adjusted that. They've made it so that you can, you know, import your own ISBN, and that's good. They've enhanced the distribution options. They've made it so that you can have print author copies again. You can have not again. But you can have author copies now, which you couldn't initially. You can have proof copies. You know, all of these advantages that CreateSpace had really kind of weighed it in favor, I would say, of that existing platform. You know, plus the fact that CreateSpace has a pretty good reputation for customer service. I know I was actually able to physically get people on the phone from time to time if there were issues, and that wasn't the case with KDP. Sometimes it would be completely opaque. I would send a message out to them and I'd say, hey, I'm having this issue and can you help? And then they'd have some sort of form email back. Oh, well, if you need to upload, this is what you do. It's like, yes, I know. I'm trying to upload and here's my issue. And specific, I tried this and I've done exactly what you're telling me to do. Can you look at it again and see what I want?
Exactly. That's what I'm going through now. I have one book. This is like almost 3 weeks. I can't upload it. They keep telling me the title is wrong. Yes, I know the title is wrong. I'm trying to correct it. Well, show me what you're doing. So I'll sit there, I'll correct the title, and at the bottom it'll say, please fix highlighted area. There's no highlighted area anywhere.
Right.
Yes,
and now they're down
heartbreaking,
to, we'll have to get somebody in IT to actually go ahead and look at this. This was like 4 days ago. So I'm like, okay, no rush.
Andrew K says the girls look bored.
No, the girls are listening.
It's a deep subject, and our guest here, she's just kind of, you know, fly on the wall. So
she kind of dove into.
I want to make sure that we're addressing some of the chat, because once again, I want to make this an open conversation. So if you happen to be new here, make sure if you really want to learn more about publishing your own books and building your brand, hit that subscribe here. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, hit that thumbs up. What's going on over into the chat? I see my buddy Al. What's happening, Al? Glad to see you here. Amith is here as well. Let's see here as well. Joseph, good to see you jumping in here. And I'm going to try to go through some of the questions, comments, and concerns. Cutie Pie, it's great to see you join us. Missed you lately. Keith, Wheeler Books, baby.
Welcome, Keith.
Keith, it's good to see you.
I ordered her book this morning, just to let you know.
And Kelly's not here to say it, but Scott J. Marshall II, my boy, Raw Dog, he's here. So it's good to see you, Raw Dog. So Andrew K, of course, I've already given you a shout out. Ernest from CV Interview Services, good to see you, buddy. Short Fortnite Clips, it's great to see you joining here. So all right, now I'm going to go through some of the concerns, and hopefully we can kind of address this and make this kind of a roundtable discussion. If you happen to be new here, hit that hashtag new. I want to know where you're at and where you're from. Don't just lurk about. Let's hear what you're all about. All right, so Code Buddy says, a question for everyone. Okay, what is the most annoying, challenging issue regarding the merge?
Well, I can speak to my situation. I don't have the option to merge yet, and I actually reached out to CreateSpace, and they explained that it's being rolled out sequentially for different people at different times. So if I log on to CreateSpace I don't have that little pop-up screen that a lot of people have that say, hey, we're merging. Would you like to go through the process now? Click here and begin the journey. I can't do that. And other folks that we've worked with have reached out and said, hey, I can't do that either. I've seen the video that Amazon put out, and it looks simple and straightforward, and I'd love to try it, but I can't. So what's happening? And so that's an issue that at least some segment of the population, of the CreateSpace population, is dealing with.
Mine is in theory, I can put my move my books over, but when the very first step to verify from Amazon to verify my CreateSpace account, I click that, I log in, nothing happens. I log in, like it's right, it just it doesn't, you know how the button like turns to a green or whatever? It doesn't. It just remains verify your CreateSpace account.
So it essentially was the same thing that I went through.
I haven't. I just was winging it. Like it was like so easy. It's so easy. I'm like, great, we'll just go do it. And then I was like, oh, I need to watch Dale's video because this is not happening as it should be happening.
Right.
Now I'm disgruntled.
And then you saw my video and saw the same thing. And you're like,
So
yeah. So Mojo, what was your experience so far?
I had the same problem, and then it just went away. But now it came back. And I'm like, I'm not touching this until this other title in KDP gets fixed first. Otherwise, I'm going to have to publish it in CreateSpace. I can't even delete the title off my dashboard.
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
I can't do anything with it.
That
completely locked.
Really stinks.
Exactly. It's completely, I can't do nothing. So all I can do is wait.
So it's good stuck in the in-between.
Yeah.
And if you guys have watched my channel long enough, you know that one of my issues is the same thing, kind of like Kim's was, but it was like literally said I had 0 books. I'd go into the verifying both accounts.
I know. I get the chills every time you say that. I'm
it definitely freaks me out. That's a lot of money and time invested into that right there. But at any rate, I haven't been able to do the merge fully, and I had that offered as an option. Some people are coming into their accounts. So for instance, I think it said, Joseph said, I have not seen any messages on my CreateSpace dashboard about transferring over to KDP yet. I'm still waiting. I had that, and even having that option, I wasn't able to go over there. I think that KDP is acutely aware of the situation, but do us all a favor, or do yourself a favor even too. And this is something I recommended in the pre-tape video, is go into contact us in your KDP dashboard, and you have to be vocal about the situation, any discrepancies, issues, reservations even, because we need to get beyond these canned responses. We need to get it to where it's a person-to-person business. And I think that they need to be held accountable because, yes, we can definitely say this is a business that you can just literally function on sweat equity alone. But at the end of the day, this is our content. This is our babies. This is the stuff that we've spent time, energy, money into it. So make sure that you're communicating with them and try to do this. And this is something I always recommend is, hey, I anticipate that there's going to probably be a canned response, but I just hope that this reaches somebody at a more escalated level, that I can get something a bit more than the basic response.
Well, I think even if you receive a canned response or no response, the more people that are doing the content us and giving them feedback and things, whether it helps with this merger or not, in the future when they go to do something huge such as this, they're going to remember, and they're going to look back at what they learned, and the way they learn is the feedback from us. And so it's important to let them know that the people, how it's affecting us. And
it's just, and here's the thing is, let's go ahead and we can draw parallels between things here, folks, and this hopefully will get you to where if you're being inactive, I want you to be more proactive. Everybody can say this: reviews are important to books, correct?
Yes.
Would we say that reviews serve as feedback to our book, that we know to what to do? They need a way to review, and the only way for them to have their reviews, I'm the first to do the air quotes, the first way to get their reviews and their feedback is you to be proactive. Okay, I'm having an issue. I was invited to do the merge, and all I'm getting is a gray button. So I went ahead and I filed mine. I let them know about it. So if you've had the same issue, or if you're waiting for the rollout, you can always just say, when can I expect this? They're going to understand that whatever was the issue, that maybe they had an internal deadline set and they just weren't 100% ready and they decided to go with the deadline anyways. I don't know what that is, but they need to be a little bit more aware of how we feel about this. But remember, folks, don't go over there and start stabbing the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. You know, remember, anytime that you're communicating, you are communicating as your brand, as your business. So anytime I'm sending in something, will I be stern? Will I be, you know, strict about what I say? Absolutely. But I'm going to dial it in a way that's professional and very tactful. And I treat people with respect, because that's the thing is, remember, there's humans on the other end of this that are, whether they're putting canned responses in or not, they've got feelings, and you need to make sure that you treat them with the same respect that you expect to get in reciprocation. All right, so I'm going to keep moving forward so that way we're not going too long tonight. CodeBuddy said, so we should save every book we make along with all meta information about it in case this happens again. I would recommend that. And this, if I had to do it all over again, I would have been a lot better about how I organized a lot of my metadata. So what do you guys have for how you save things?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea to do that. You know, even if it's as simple as setting up a spreadsheet, you know, with a few different fields. I would imagine, particularly as you become a serial author, you know, when you have not just one or two books or a handful of books, but several dozen or hundreds or more.
Thousands.
Yeah, thousands of books, which, you know, is not going to be everybody, obviously, but come up with some sort of system that makes it easy for you to reproduce that. Because, I mean, it's just like cloud data and backup. You know, still having physical backups is a good idea. You never know what's going to happen. You know, offsite storage, you know, cloud storage, all of those things, those multiple redundancies really help. You know, if anybody out there has had a computer fail on them, you know, and then they lose data. You know, we're facing sort of a similar
Audible
situation.
sigh from everybody.
Right.
I don't have that problem.
It's painful. It's really difficult, and you know, hopefully you can recover. But whatever you can do ahead of time to make it easier to avoid that or to prepare for that contingency, I think is really really a good idea. So you know, maybe that's something that some enterprising person out there might be able to do. Just come up with a basic template that they can share widely. Heck, brand it, you know, and say, hey, this brought to you by so and so publishing house, and just in case anything like this happens, this is how you get your data back and archive it for future reference.
I don't even think I have anything to add to that.
That was
Yeah.
Rob, gosh darn it, why do you start darn articulate?
Well done.
I feel kind of bad now because I have all my stuff saved on 128 gig flash drive. Everything, covers.
Yeah.
Get a second flash drive just in case.
I do have two.
Okay.
Keep it in someone else's house.
Internally panicked from you.
Yeah. I mean, I have it as, you know, in paperback form. I have it as ebook, Mobi, PDF. I'm sorry, it's OCD. This is what I do. I never trust, and I have 2 copies of everything because I am so afraid I'm gonna lose something.
Yeah, I don't get rid of anything.
Hey, you know, I tell you what, though, Mojo, I'm not going to knock that. I mean, there's probably some people out there that aren't making backups, so hopefully they're taking some notes on this. You know, Mojo's in a position now that she's really starting to be on the uptick in her business with self-publishing. Very proud of this gal behind me here. I want to get a quick shout out. The legendary animator John Celestri is in the house. Some of you guys are familiar with John Celestri. John has animated many of the cartoons over the years, such as He-Man and Dragon's Lair and such.
Cool.
So sorry, John. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I'm still such a huge fan.
Big fan too. That's
great.
Thanks,
Awesome.
So it's great to see him in here. So
I still have some of those toys.
it's awesome. Yeah. So it's good. He gave some thumbs up. It's good to get some love, man. Andrew K, let's see here. That's a business backup for authors for sure. I'm going to try to get everybody's comments here. I wanted to kind of keep everything buttoned down to half hour because they're starving. They haven't had supper yet. I wanted to get them before they headed out here. Chat is popping like crazy. We've got 34 people in the house and 5 thumbs up. The math's off. For some reason, people must be having a terrible time.
If you're here and you like us, let us know.
Yeah. Hit that thumbs up for sure. We definitely would love if you're enjoying the content. We want to kind of make this, you know, give us your opinion. What's happening so far? What have your reservations been with the CreateSpace merge with KDP Print? And where do you see this going? So I think this is going to be a good one. Let me just peel through the discussion here. I want to see if I missed anybody. Big thank you. I watched your video about CreateSpace closing. I hired an editor from Upwork and they were unaware. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. Actually, I'm getting some of my old videos. For instance, I had somebody that had jumped on my ISBN ISBN options, and I talk about that, and it's primarily geared towards CreateSpace. And I had, because they were like, I'm getting ready to publish my first book on CreateSpace, and I kind of was like, you might want to just go straight over to KDP, right? Because there's no sense learning a new system only to have to start it all over. And so if any of you are new and you're considering and breaking ground in self-publishing industry, just go straight over to KDP at this point. I think it's just defeating for you to try to learn CreateSpace only to have to go over and learn KDP print.
And deal with the transition.
And deal with the transition, no less in between. So I want to kind of, let's see here. Man, I'm loving this. You guys are just awesome. I appreciate you being on the fly, coming in here on a Saturday night and taking a little bit of your time with us. And I definitely want to say thank you to our guest.
Yeah.
So Jessie here is our guest. She's right in the middle of the couch here. If you want to catch last night's discussion, you want to go over to facebook.com/groups/self-publishing-books and come join the conversation in the community. It's popping in there. Just remember to answer the 3 questions.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yep. Answer the 3 questions, because otherwise you'll just get rejected. If you've tried to come into the group before and you've been rejected, just ask the questions again. We don't really ban anybody unless they have bad behavior. So, all right. So I'm having a problem with books transferred to KDP. The ones CreateSpace changed to no bleed, they changed it themselves. Those books won't update on KDP. I'm unable to change to with bleed. KDP telling me to. Wow.
Whoa.
That's a real issue. So I'm assuming that you've already communicated that. So if anybody else is having that particular issue, please reach out to them, because this is another inherent issue. I know a couple of viewers even mentioned to me that if they had CreateSpace Direct as the only thing checked off in expanded distribution in the CreateSpace dashboard, when they were doing the merge, it was creating like the KDP was like, I don't have CreateSpace Direct, and it was putting the books to draft, and you had to go in and deselect expanded distribution and then publish it. So be acutely aware of that. I keep saying acutely. It's just it's a sexy word. What can I say? You need to be aware of, if you have some books and the only thing in expanded distribution you have checked off is CreateSpace Direct, you may have to uncheck that before you do that merge. Otherwise, it's going to go to draft when you go to KDP. I don't know if they fixed that issue, and hopefully I'll ask that. Which, speaking of, before I fire off this last question for the night, if you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this currently right now, I'm going to try to go back through and get all the questions together. What questions should I ask Amazon KDP this coming week? Any questions that you want to, I want you to fire them off. If I've got 50 questions, I'm going to ask all 50 questions of this person here. So this guy is going to probably spend a whole day with me, I anticipate. It's Dale. I can talk that long.
Man, I hope that guy's ready.
All right. So now that we're starting to get towards the home stretch here. So nice to meet all of you. Beauty Bubble, I always appreciate you popping in here. And all of you guys coming in here. Some of you new people, it's really, really, really awesome to see your final question of the night before we start to wrap things up. 37 people in the house. Oh my gosh. We're starting to really pick up pace here.
I like it.
Final question. Where do you see the business heading after CreateSpace is gone? What's going to happen? If you've got to get doom and gloom on me, that's fine. So we're going to go around, and everybody get it in your head. Don't steal from Rob, because as soon as Rob, you go last. You go last, Rob.
Yeah.
Mojo, where do you see the business heading here? I would say, let's say in another year from now, CreateSpace is fully merged. The platform's gone.
I think in about a year, all the little glitches should be worked out, but you never know. Something is going, there'll be a bad pill. Yes, air quotes.
Everybody get it, air quotes. There we go, air quotes.
There'll be a bad pill will probably pop up somewhere, something just to keep them up on their toes, because it's always changing. So there's always going to be something that they may try to be ready for, but they might just miss that mark.
Yeah. Hey, look, Mistakes are going to happen in any walk of life. So that's why we got to, you know, at least allow them a chance to correct the course. Our guest, I'd ask you, but you're going to probably feel awkward on it. So she's just going to give you, there we go. Kim, here.
I can't use this answer.
Yeah. That's not good enough.
Because it's kind of, no, in the brief reflection, I would guess that once we're all over and CreateSpace is a fond memory, and we're all kind of corralled under the YouTube or not YouTube, Amazon umbrella. I think that it's going to be kind of we're going to have a couple of years of, oh, Amazon's going to try this with our stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, with some of us. And then they're going to kind of pick and they're going to start experimenting with little things. And some of those things are going to be great, but we're all going to grumble about them as they happen until we realize how great they are, which is kind of how it happens on, you know, the internet.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. Every time there's a new Facebook, we all get mad, and then it's like, okay, I'm used to it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what anything bigger picture, I have no idea. But I kind of feel like we're going to go through a phase of, oh, Amazon did this to my book, and this not to this book, or they did it to me and not to this author, and they're gonna start molding the clay.
Yeah.
And to better things. I mean, to their credit, I mean, it is, because if we make money and are successful, they make money and are successful.
Right.
So like it's nothing that they are trying to work against us when they do that kind of stuff, even though it feels like that.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna get a little bit of a okay, they did something weird here because they're trying to make this better, or because they're trying out this new way of doing X, Y, and Z. And so I kind of foresee a time of experimentation.
Yeah.
We're in their little petri dish.
Yes. It's their early college years right now. They're going to get a little experimental.
Like that's, you know, they're
Yeah.
like, what happened if I poke that one?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
all right, Rob Archangel, weigh in on it, man. I know you're going to singe our eyebrows on this one.
Boy, you're putting me on the spot here, Dale. Well, so I think there are a couple of things potentially that could happen.
Yeah.
I think that right now it's working reasonably well for Amazon, for KDP print. It's a really easy platform for people to get onto because there's a low barrier of entry, and it doesn't require any real upfront costs aside from whatever time it takes for you to come up with these files, and you can do that on your own. I do think that it is conceivable that they might go the route of Ingram Spark. This is something you and I spoke about earlier, where they actually start charging people for publishing on it. You know, Ingram Spark, they charge $50 per project. They also charge you to update it. Now, I've heard from some people that they don't always charge you; it's not consistent. But theoretically, you know, they could start doing that. And one of the advantages potentially of that is it really forces people's hands and forces people to think very carefully about whether what they're putting out is a quality production. Maybe that's going to be good for readers ultimately, or not. You know, it could collapse the market. People thought that that MySpace maybe was going to be around forever. Obviously, it's not. You know, these things happen.
We did though. We really, And then Facebook came. We were like, this is dumb.
Yeah, you know, things change, and
don't
there are very, very few companies, you know, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies that have existed, you know, more than 5 decades, let alone, you know, a century. And then when it comes to the internet age, there's, you know, the pace is an order of magnitude faster. So a company that's been around for 5 or 10 years, who knows how long it's going to last? There's no reason to think that it's going to last forever. That Kindle or that Amazon will always be the big player in this market. To their credit, they've been really responsive. You know, they as you mentioned, Kim, their success at this point is really tied to our success. You know, they're attached to every unit that we sell. So if they help us sell more units, then that's good for them. And it's a win-win in that way. But, you know, like any business, you have to sort of navigate the pros and cons and balance the interest of your content creators along with your ultimate customers. And, you know, so we'll see. It's also possible that the self-publishing landscape may kind of shift to where it was, you know, a few decades ago, where people actually just start warehousing and selling books on their own. And that's kind of the way to do it with the increase. And then the competition is going to be in who can produce books at most economically, because there are many, many more printers than there were, you know, several decades ago. Yeah. And the cost of production is really quite reasonable. You know, if you have a little bit to invest and it's a quality project, spending $1,000, a few $1,000s to get a couple hundred copies, you know, that could be the direction that people go in as well. And then you have some more discretion over pricing. You know, you're not going to be as beholden to Amazon saying, hey, you know, we want all the books basically between $2.99 and $9.99, like on Kindle, by incentivizing it at 70% royalty rate. They basically, you know, told all the creators out there, this is what the market price is. We've decided it. That's where it's going to be. You can go above or below that, but you know, at your peril. So we don't know. You know, I do like Amazon. I think they're really good. I think they have been really responsive as far as what they've done for content creators. I think they put a lot of their money, from what I gather, they are not even an especially profitable company because they're just reinvesting continually in their technology and their devices and their distribution, getting into other avenues. I mean, they bought Whole Foods, you know, this past year. They're doing all sorts of different things to diversify. So we'll see. But and I hope that they continue to do well. But at some point it may shift, and I would just encourage authors out there to just have a lateral perspective. Know that there could be changes down the road, and be willing to pivot if it seems like that's where the winds are going. And you know, keep your interest at heart too. Obviously, being loyal to a company, to a platform, is good and has its advantages. But if at some point things change, you know, you have to be willing to change too, so that you can continue to connect with your readers and to build your own business and your own brand. So those are my thoughts.
This is excellent, and he already kind of expressed some of the situation that we were talking, the whole conversation of, you know, how Ingram Spark, which Ingram Spark is a great company, don't get me wrong, but there is a barrier of entry. You know, you got to pay for your ISBN, you got to pay for that upload, and I think that Athan Immortal said, I don't think they'll start charging for setup. $50 is nothing compared to the sale of 1,000 books. I could see them doing away with the free ISBN though. Yeah, that's great. There's so many options we can kind of think of. Remember, this is their platform, and ultimately we have to abide by what they do or go somewhere else. And I think Rob brings up a good point is here, it's just a simple way to put it. And this is something I've always just said in this channel, but I'm gonna articulate it straightforward. I say, learn how to publish your books and build your brand. And when I say build your brand shouldn't be just exclusive to any one platform. Your brand should be able to go anywhere and everywhere. It should be global. It should completely exceed anything that is on Amazon. So Amazon's just a vehicle. Remember that at the end of the day. So if you can, diversify your portfolio. You guys probably have seen me. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Heck, I'm even on every single podcasting platform because I'm always looking for ways to diversify my platform and my brand. So you should consider the same thing as well and continue to just be ready. There's one thing for certain, you know, nothing lasts forever. So we got to make sure that we just adjust to that. And yeah, there's going to come experiments, things like that. Well, we're running a little bit long today. I definitely appreciate everybody popping in. I get to see some new faces, and it's really awesome, again, that you took some time out of your day. But I want to, of course, give some big shout outs to all of our guests here. And real quick, we're going to go around the room. How can people get a hold of you, Rob Archangel?
ArchangelInk.com. I have a YouTube channel as well, ArchangelInk.com/YouTube.
Excellent. And after this is going up on the replay, I'll make sure to put all the links to all the relevant places here. So Kim here, how do they get a hold of you?
I'm on YouTube and most social media places, youtube.com/Kim here, and I'm at Kim Barbu on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and the Reading Amok podcast, readingamokpod.com, also on all those social media places.
What a perfect transition and segue. We can talk about our guest here. Jessie, give any last minute plugs. How can people find you?
Podcast.
The most you spoke the whole time. All right. Mojo.
Let's see, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all under the username of Mojosiedlak.
Excellent. Yeah, it's funny, Ava said it last night. If you want to find Mojo, just see wherever I'm streaming, Mojo's going to show up. So,
I'm like,
she's a regular.
yeah. The funny thing is she's right behind me on this time around. All right. So in the meantime, if you folks enjoyed tonight's live broadcast, do me a little favor. Share it with somebody else that you think would enjoy it too. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.